Hey guys, welcome to Blazing Box. Today we're going to talk about something you may have seen before, but something that I didn't fully understand until today. And that is that 0.9 repeating equals 1. Now, I've seen a couple proofs for this. I'm going to go ahead and show you those today, and then we're going to discuss why this is true. First, we'll talk about 1/3, which is equal to 0.3 repeating. And the repeating symbol here means 0.333 with an infinite number of threes. And 2/3 equals 0.6 repeating, which is 0.6666. Don't want to leave just 3 sixes there, with 6's going off to infinity. So now if we go ahead and we add these lines together, so add 1/3 and 2/3, we know that we get 3/3. Or if we skip over to here, we know we get 0.3 plus 6 is 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, and this will go on for infinity. Same thing here, 0.3 repeating plus 0.6 repeating equals 0.9 repeating. But we all know that 3 over 3 is equal to 1. Here we see the problem. With the fraction and the decimals, we get that 1/3 plus 2/3 is 0.9 repeating, or 3 divided by 3 equals 1. Here's another example of problems we run into, and that's with ninths. So 1/9 equals 0.1 repeating. 2/9 is equal to 0.2 repeating. 3/9, well, that reduces to 1/3, and guess what? It equals 0.3 repeating. And this pattern continues. When we do 6/9, that reduces to 2/3, and this equals 0.6 repeating. 8/9, you guessed it, 0.8 repeating. But again, when we do 9/9, we know this equals 1. It should equal 0.9 repeating. So those are just a couple really easy ways to show that 0.9 repeating and 1 are the same thing. So let's talk about why this is true. And how we can show this intuitively is that 1 plus x equals 2. And we know we can solve this with x equals 1. If we do 0.9999 plus x equals 1, we can find a solution for x, and that is 0.0001. And then our equation holds true. But let's try it with not a finite number of 9's and go infinite. So 0.99999 off to infinity plus x equals 1. So now let's try to find an x for it. And you can sit here and stare at this all day and you will never find a number that works. Now some of you might be saying, oh, well what about 0.0 repeating with a 1 at the end? Well, there's a problem with that. This notation, this number, does not exist. That's not a valid number. The only time you can use the repeating symbol is if it's the last digit of a number. So 0.123 repeating would be a number because there's an infinite number of 3's after the 2. However, 0.12 repeating 3 doesn't make any sense because you need an infinite number of 2's between a 1 and a 3. And you can't make that number. You can't use that number. That number just doesn't make any sense because you can't have a 3 after an infinite number of 2's. And this is why our 0.9 repeating equals 1 holds true. Because if you have 0.9 repeating plus some number x equals 1, the only solution we have for this problem is x equals 0. And if x equals 0, then it can just simply fall out of this equation and we get 0.9 repeating equals 1. And that is the intuitive reason why 0.9 repeating really does equal exactly 1. Thanks for watching.